Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Afif bin Zulkifli. I and my two friends, Hairul Mizi and Muhammad Nur Hasif, will do presentation about nuclear explosion.
For the background, the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster, which occurred in 2011, is one of the most significant nuclear accidents in history. This catastrophe was triggered by a massive earthquake and subsequent tsunami that struck the northeastern coast of Japan on March 11, 2011. The natural disaster caused extensive damage to the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, operated by the Tokyo Electric Power Company (TEPCO). The earthquake and tsunami disrupted the plant's cooling system, leading to a series of meltdowns in three of its six reactors, as well as hydrogen explosions in some of the reactor buildings. This event resulted in the release of radioactive materials into the atmosphere, land, and sea, causing widespread environmental contamination and the evacuation of tens of thousands of residents in the vicinity.
The chronology of the Fukushima 1 nuclear accident in 2011 is as follows. Date 11 March 2011. Cause earthquakes and tsunamis. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami hit the east coast of Japan with a magnitude of 9.0. This earthquake caused buildings, bridges, and other infrastructure to collapse and create a big tsunami wave. Constructive influence nuclear Fukushima Daiichi. The earthquake and tsunami had an impact on the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. A failure of the cooling system interrupts the power generator's ability. This nuclear power plant had a power outage and the release of the radioactive material became a serious risk.
The next is three things that have big profound impact. Number one is do the evacuation and pollution. People living around Fukushima Daiichi and other areas have de-evacuated. Pollution and long-term effects on the environment are caused by the release of radionuclides into the environment. The next is global impact. This calamity had a global ramification and led to a serious discussion about nuclear safety. Japan decided to improve its nuclear safety standards and shut down several more nuclear plants. For the result is, there are two things that occur after it happened. Number one is the Fukushima I nuclear accident is one of the worst nuclear disasters in history. And the last one is it brought awareness to the risk of nuclear power and changed Japan's approach to the industry.
Next, for the impact and damage for the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster in 2011 are as follows. For number one is impact on population health, which is the latest UN report states that the people of Fukushima do not suffer from the dangerous health effects directly caused by the nuclear disaster in 2011. For the second is damage around Fukushima Daiichi. The area around Fukushima Daiichi suffered the serious damage from the earthquake and tsunami. For the third is total deaths toll from earthquake and tsunami. The number of casualties due to the earthquake and tsunami on March 11, 2011 continued to increase, but there were no casualties directly related to nuclear radiation. Number four is of deaths toll from earthquake and tsunami, and number five is global impact.
Main cause. This incident started with an earthquake and tsunami that hit the area. Number one is failure of safety system. Number 2 is radioactive release. For the next one is nuclear emergency level. The next one is long-term effect. And the last one is action and investigation.
Japan has taken various actions in response to the Fukushima nuclear tragedy and to manage its long-term effects. Here are some of the actions Japan has taken. Number 1 is radioactive water release. Number 2, construction of protection system. Number 3, nuclear reactor cancellation. The last one, number 4, is government responsibility.
Besides that, for the decision to release water has been taken after a process of monitoring and treating the water to ensure it is safe. Here is some relevant information. Number one is IAEA oversight, which is the International Atomic Energy Agency has monitored and verified that Japan's action to release treated water into the sea are consistent with international safety standards. Number two is science and safety monitoring. The water release is the result of careful water quality monitoring and testing. And number three is minimal risk. Discharge of treated water into the sea is carried out after processing to remove any remaining radioactive. And number four is international tension. However, this action still causes concern and tension at the international level. And number five is continuity of monitoring. Monitoring of the long-term effects of water release will continue.
The cost of losses incurred as a result of the Fukushima nuclear tragedy in 2011 and the cost of repairing the nuclear plant has involved a very large amount. Here is a general overview of the matter. Cost of losses. The overall cost of losses incurred as a result of the Fukushima nuclear disaster is difficult to determine precisely because it involves several aspects such as recovery costs, compensation payments to victims, clean-up costs, and more according to a report in 2012. The cost of cleaning up and paying damage is expected to reach around US 125 billion at that time. Nuclear plant repair costs. After the tragedy, a huge amount of effort was taken to restore the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. This repair and restoration is a protected process that requires a large investment. This is not often mentioned specifically in the report, but it is a large part of the overall cost incurred.
Some key points related to the Fukushima 1 nuclear accident include: Number 1 is main cause. The accident began when a large earthquake and tsunami caused damage to the cooling system of the Fukushima 1 nuclear plant, which eventually resulted in the release of radioactive material. Number 2 is the impact. This accident resulted in radioactive contamination and posed a health risk to the local population. It also affected the economy and development in the affected area. Number 3 is action and solution. Japan has taken steps to treat nuclear contamination and has begun the process of releasing treated radioactive water into the Pacific Ocean. This is an effort to reduce the risk that still exists. The last one is lesson. The Fukushima 1 accident has taught a lesson about the need for safety in nuclear plants and has also sparked discussion about the use of nuclear energy as an energy source.
For the lesson, this disaster has a major impact on nuclear and energy security policies around the world and is an important lesson in understanding the potential risks associated with nuclear energy. For example, vulnerability to natural disaster. Number two is importance of redundancy and backup system, proper emergency planning, and communication with the public. And for the global nuclear safety, the Fukushima incident prompted a worldwide assessment of nuclear safety. And next, decommissioning challenge, nuclear energy policy, and technological advances.
Conclusion: the Fukushima nuclear disaster, caused by a magnitude 9.0 earthquake and ensuing tsunami, resulted in a catastrophic collapse at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant in 2011. Three reactors lost power, resulting in cooling system failures and an increase in core temperatures, which resulted in explosion and massive radiation leakage. Approximately 160,000 residents were evacuated and will be displaced for an extended period of time. Workers working in the recovery were exposed to dangerous quantities of radioactivity. The aftermath include soil and water contamination, which harm local agriculture and fishing because of the withdrawal of contaminated products. The fishing business sustains losses, cancer rates, and other radiation-related disorders grew as a result of the health danger. The disaster resulted in thousands of direct and indirect deaths, enormous economic loss, and highlighted the fundamental importance of nuclear safety.
That's all from us. Thank you.